He had always believed their love was real. From the day they married, he dedicated himself fully, working long hours, building a home, and making sure she never lacked anything. He thought she appreciated it, thought she loved him as deeply as he loved her. But the truth came crashing down one quiet evening when she looked him in the eyes and said, without hesitation, "I never loved you." At first, he thought she was joking, maybe speaking out of anger. But her expression was cold, unflinching, and cruelly honest. The words cut deeper than any betrayal could. All the late nights, the sacrifices, the plans for the future, it had all been built on a lie. His chest tightened, but he didn't let her see the depth of the wound she had just inflicted. Instead, he sat there silently, nodding, while inside his heart shattered into pieces. She carried on, explaining how she had only married him for stability, for the comfortable life he could provide. The love, the intimacy, the promises, they were nothing more than a performance on her part. He realized then that the woman he had trusted with his soul had been playing a role the entire time. But she didn't know that he had prepared for the possibility of betrayal long ago. He had built his fortune carefully, dividing it between investments, properties, and most importantly, a trust fund he never told her about. It was his safety net, his quiet backup plan in case life ever betrayed him. And now, as she confessed her lack of love, he knew it was time to use it. She wanted a divorce, she said, expecting him to hand over half of everything without a fight. She underestimated him, believing his heartbreak would leave him weak, desperate, and willing to give in. But she didn't know he had already moved most of his assets into that trust, untouchable, hidden, and beyond her reach. In the weeks that followed, she became arrogant, talking openly about the new life she would build with the settlement she believed was coming her way. She had even begun seeing someone else, no longer bothering to hide her intentions. To her, he was already a memory, a stepping stone to the freedom she always wanted. When the court day arrived, she wore a smug smile, confident she was about to walk away with millions. But as the financial records were presented, her face slowly changed. The houses, the savings, the businesses, none of it was in his name anymore. The trust had secured it all, legally protected and beyond her claim. The only thing left in his name was the modest family home they lived in, and even that he offered to let her keep. She couldn't believe it. The future she had envisioned slipped through her fingers like sand. Her arrogance turned to fury as she realized she had played herself. The judge saw through her act quickly. Her demands fell flat, her entitlement exposed. Instead of walking away with wealth, she left with little more than her bitterness. The man she had mocked, the man she told she never loved, had turned the tables without ever raising his voice. He walked out of the courtroom with a calmness she couldn't understand. Inside, he still hurt. The words she said would echo in his chest for a long time. But he also felt free. Free from the chains of a woman who had never truly cared for him. The trust wasn't just financial security. It was a symbol that he could rebuild his life without her. Friends who once pitied him now admired his strength. He didn't waste time seeking revenge in destructive ways. His revenge was quiet, clean, and devastatingly effective. She lost everything she thought she had gained by deceiving him. He, on the other hand, still had his future intact. Months later, as he sat in his new apartment overlooking the city, he reflected on the journey. Pain had taught him caution, betrayal had taught him wisdom, and the trust had given him power. He had been broken, yes, but not destroyed. Meanwhile, she struggled. The man she left him for didn't stay long once the money disappeared. Her dreams of luxury turned to years of regret. She had gambled her marriage for a future that never existed. And though she would never admit it aloud, she knew she had underestimated the man she once called her husband. He never reached out, never looked back. For him, the chapter was closed. She had told him she never loved him, and he had believed her. But in the end, it didn't matter. Because he had loved himself enough to protect his future, and that was something she could never take away.